Hello, fellow autistics and people on the autism spectrum. Today we have a lovely afternoon here today, or wherever you are in the world right now, depending on the time and time Eastern. I don't know how it works in your country, but thank you for tuning in for one of my another autism videos in which today I'm going to talk about another interesting subject about how sometimes people on the autism spectrum are treated as second class citizens in a way of which, take for example this whole pandemic going on with the coronavirus. People with disabilities and physical disabilities are being put as non-priorities in terms of how you evaluate and you try to check people to see if they have the coronavirus. And at the moment, I noticed a lot of posts and people that are talking about people on the autism spectrum not be evaluated for the coronavirus properly as you would, as a neurotypical would. And at the moment, I'm just questioning whether people on the autism spectrum are second class citizens, because it does come to mind because throughout my life, I guess you could say that people on the spectrum haven't been given that much accommodations in terms of adulthood, because as an adult, getting work is a challenge because you can never know which job complies with the job act, in which people on the disability cannot be discriminated against. And honestly, it's really hard to find work when you're on the autism spectrum and you need to apply these social skills into a work setting place in which it might be harder to speak verbally or try to communicate with someone one-on-one verbally, which can be a challenge. But again, people on the autism spectrum are given fewer opportunities than people on neurotypicals, because I'm not bashing anyone here, but it just seems like people on the autism spectrum are not non-essential people in a way when it comes to certain areas of life, when it comes to the workforce, or when it comes to academics. Because I've seen a lot of people on the spectrum excel in academics when it comes to math and anything that fits their special subject. And at the moment, I'm not enrolled in college, so I'm kind of like a 1 year gap of college, out of college, so trying to get back in. And at the moment, I'm actually having trouble fitting into college with beyond autism spectrum because, as many of you know, those of you that are autism adults or autism teens, it's really hard to make friends as an adult. So I don't know if any of you people on the spectrum have trouble making friends as an adult, but it's pretty hard when you try to find common ground with neurotypicals that don't share your same interests, and you just stand there looking around trying to figure out a common subject to talk about. But that's the life of an autistic. And I really hope when you watch this video, you consider to list things that make autism people second class citizens, and in which you can list it as that. But I would say that we're working towards the goal of trying to make everything equal between each other and provide more help for disabilities and try to be more in common grounds of how we accommodate each other and our needs, the workforce, academics, or even in life. Because I know people get accommodations as kids in school when you have a disability, when you're in special ed, or you get an IEP, but beyond that, we need to also focus on a life plan for when people on the autism spectrum reach adulthood, because autism still exists past childhood. Even as adults, people were once kids on the autism spectrum too, so every person on the spectrum matters, no matter who you are. Hope you guys enjoy this little rant, and hope you guys have a good day.